in case you just joined us, welcome to another beautiful morning on the AM show. It's time for us to dig into the papers. And guess who's here? As usual, Mama Views, all right. You're sparkling this morning.
It's Friday! Thank you.
Do better. Let's go up. Let's go up.
Charlie,
do some Celine Dion for us. And our Friday agreed.
I'll do
You know, there are very few who can hit those keys. the pitch as high as the Celines and the rest. I think Mariah Carey, and I think now Adele. You know, those like you may not go as far as, but these are those in that stratosphere. And of course, Whitney Houston. Yeah, well, but the others.
And you're asking me to try?
They say try.
Is it like try or do it?
Like make an effort, try.
You know, it's good to know yourself. Sometimes even the try, no, Charlie, if it is not you, it's not you. So please, wait the empire me, why?
You lovely dress, by the way, I had to say.
Thank you. Thank you. Just getting ready for this weekend's action. And I don't know why some people thought that we will lose against Legon City. Like wildest dream. But thanks to all the Kotoko fans who went to the stadium.
You guys
to all the Kotoko fans who went to the stadium.
Narrowly.
And then, I think now the Kotoko fans are beginning to realize that they will lose Sunday's game.
You won by the skin of your teeth. And the thing is,
can we check out?
It's worse for you that we are going to be playing here in Accra because it's not. Oh yeah, it's not going to be. The pressure is going to be on you guys.
Really? Yeah, Bremo.
It's going to be on you guys.
Yeah, Bremo. Oh, Kasao, hey. Yeah. Oh gosh. Kotoko people Kotoko can't talk.
Sure.
And I'm surrounded by so many Kotoko fans. Like they just talk.
We're everywhere. I mean, we can't help it.
Thank God.
When you know a good thing, you support it.
They go silent after a good game, and they themselves are saying, "Actually, this Hearts team, we better watch out." Yeah. Okay.
Oh, so you guys are not watching out for us. I like your complacency. It's okay. Sunday will tell.
We will be counting down to that game. We'll look forward to it later in the day. Watch out for some conversations on that. But I've got the Daily Graphic, the Daily Dispatch, the Finder, Republic Press, the Custodian.
I have the Ghanaian Times Daily Guide, the Ghanaian Publisher, the Accra Times, and the BNFT. Let's start with the Ghanaian Times newspaper. Don't frustrate investors, Opon Kroma to agency heads. That's on page 24. Ghana Statistical Service deploys 70,000 enumerators, supervisors nationwide to begin census on Sunday. Pictured there, Professor Samuel Kobina in NIM. We've been interacting with him in recent times. There is Ghana rolls out COVID-19 vaccine trial. Conducts Sputnik, a light test on 1,000 people in Shayo Sudoku, Kasena Nankana, among others. That story on page 16. There's also this one. 2 friends jailed 50 years for robbery and brandishing of guns on social media. 2 suspects granted 100,000 Ghana cedi bail. So our friends, in quote, who are brandishing pump action guns and the rest, they've got that. There were 3 of them, and I hear there's a 4th. I don't know whether he's been apprehended as yet. And then mechanic remanded for allegedly murdering taxi driver. We're also talking on the international front about those heavy casualties reported in Ethiopia, that airstrike, and dozens of people being reported killed or injured after Ethiopia's Air Force bombed a market in the northern region of Tigray. I was following this on the BBC, and in light of their recent parliamentary elections, not looking too good. Vaccine hoarding impedes global war against COVID-19. That story also in there. Dr. Kwabena Donko has been speaking, and he says cancellation of GPGC needless, and he is also saying that he has no fears should he be taking on, as the AG has suggested in recent times. On the back page, Mediama King Faisal share points, dwarfs Ash Gold win, and then there's rehabilitated irrigation project to enhance food sufficiency. But I think this standing, the league log, is late because Hearts of Oak should, after yesterday's win, but I guess it was late in the day, so it wasn't captured by the Ghanaian Times.
The game started at 6.
Oh, well, but it's obviously not reflected here because Hearts of Oak is still on 53 points.
Yeah. So I guess maybe, yeah.
So it should reflect, and of course, Hearts of Oak,
so who's
by the goal tally.
Who's on top here?
Asante Kotoko is still on top here, but that should not be.
You're only on top on paper. Only in the Ghanaian Times.
After Sunday or Monday, we'll come and have this.
Let's do the daily graphic newspaper. Front page, economy on the right path to recovery, says government complacency. COVID-19 protocol generally disregarded. Now and there, nobody has to say it, like we know it. Is it a pandemic fatigue or we just don't care, even when we've heard that South Africa is well in their third wave now?
I mean, how can you say you don't care when this is about life and death? That is why I've shared with you how people have said, but you've taken 2 jabs. Why are you still donning a mask? For my own safety and for yours as well, because some of these new strains coming, and we don't know when the virus will stop mutating, if ever. So the best thing is to stay safe. And for me, one thing sometimes I've realized now, wearing this has become my normal. In my neighborhood, sometimes people look at me like, because I'm going to the cobbler and in my mask. And people are like, oh, but Charlie.
It's just
this is my normal now.
Enforcing it now, like it's really hard. You see, when your leaders are seen disregarding, it becomes really difficult. Yeah. I mean, I was just thinking the other day, I don't remember police announcing arrest or anything recently. People who have decided not to wear the mask or anything of the sort. I think it's difficult even for them to enforce it because of the blatant disregard. If you've seen everybody else do it, then you know. But you have to care for your life. You see, at this point, it's you care for your own life. Don't think some politician or some leader somewhere isn't doing it, so you're also not doing it. Because if it happens, it would affect you and your family. That politician may not even know that you exist. All right, let's look at the rest of the front page headlines. FNB Bank marks 25th milestone with Trade Forum. Finance Minister quotes the diasporan community help create industrial hub, he says. In the center spread, Africa must forge stronger partnership to tackle the challenges of COVID-19 pandemic, the president has said. Okay, and then France supports Ghana to develop green value chains. The informal sector is to be streamlined to make it more attractive to broaden its market reach. You want to know how? You can read the rest of the story in the center spread of the Daily Graphic. And I think this was in the Ghanaian Times as well. Home Polyclinic Theatre Project abandoned. Okay, no, this was not, but there was in the Ghanaian Times. Except that this one says the construction of a theatre for the Home Polyclinic has stalled. The project was started in 2019 with funding from the Coastal Development Authority to improve healthcare delivery in the municipality and beyond. The contractors currently packed out of the project site. With construction works now stalled, the hospital refers surgical cases to the Tema General Hospital. So this polyclinic is about the biggest health facility in the immediate surroundings of Mundawenya and neighboring communities. Due to inadequate infrastructure, patients have been cramped in wards while others have to lie on beds in the corridors. It serves more than 50,000 people but lacks dental and x-ray units, among other key services. And this project has just been abandoned. And you see the abandoned projects captured on the back page of the paper. They say the contractor has packed his stuff. He's not even on site, like you don't even see his equipment on site. There's more to the story on the back page. And then the Gratis Foundation and Hyundai Motors and Investment Ghana Limited have signed a memorandum of understanding to enable the automobile leadership to provide professional vehicle maintenance services. Okay, using Gratis Foundation Center in Koforidua in the Eastern region. All right, that's it for the graphic.
Okay, so let's get to some papers. Daily Guide newspaper now. Ambassador Blay inspects new chocolate factory. That's on page 9. NDC MPs walk out on deputies. And that story still in here. No protocol in military. Scholarships boss woos Spanish educationists, and 35 foreign fraudsters arrested. That story is on page 7. When you go to other pages here, I like to focus as well on the international news. Many are feared dead after collapse of Miami condo, and it is still not clear how many people were in that part of the building that collapsed. 751 unmarked graves found at residential school. This is in Canada. And you remember that claim that a South African woman had given birth to 10 babies? It apparently is false. And how about some Black Lives Matter? Yes. I mean, I was reading yesterday, and it's captured here as well. Gosiame Sitole. Then there's Derek Chauvin to be sentenced Friday for murder of George Floyd, which is today. And so we're going to see whether he's going to get the maximum penalty according to the story. 13 months to the day after George Floyd was murdered on the streets of South Minneapolis, Derek Chauvin is to receive his sentence. While Chauvin was found guilty on all 3 charges, second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter, Minnesota law stipulates that he will only be given a sentence for the severest of the 3 because they all arise out of the same behavior. In Chauvin's case, because he has no criminal history of convictions, his presumptive sentence is a prison term between more than 10.5 years and 15 years. However, 4 aggravated sentencing factors have been found in his case, and so that could spin matters a bit further. So he's looking at least 10.5 and 15 years. The story about that female student receiving 40 lashes is there, but I just want to get to the entertainment page of the paper. You know our very dear friend Peter Okoye, P Squared. Okay, so they thought I wouldn't survive alone, and that's the Nigerian music star, one half of P Square. And he posted recently, Team P, what were they thinking? That I wasn't going to survive alone? They just can't stand the fact that I am richer now and doing well for myself. Pained. And this post is for them and them alone. Just watch them referring this post to my family as usual. Odes, watch them start preaching. He goes on and on. But so Rude Boy is the other one, right? And Peter Okoye is the other half, I believe, because he even just tweeted, this is 7 hours ago, always pray for grace to locate you. Grace carried me where I am today, and by grace I'll carry on. So he's been. But
he knows that they're going to trace this back to his family and everything else. So
that's what he's saying. Just watch them referring this post to my family as usual.
So why does he say it?
I guess. And you know they've been at loggerheads since 2017, and Rude Boy has come out with his hits and all of that, and he's saying, well. The other side is saying, oh, people thought I wouldn't survive and blah, 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 blah. On the back page,
I respect the fact that, you know, they wanted to go their separate ways. People thought they were better together, but they individually thought, let's do
I actually feel they were better together.
Yeah, but
I actually think so.
I also feel but I respect the fact that they want to make their individual careers.
But whom would you say is the more talented half?
Oh, I won't choose. I won't say that. I won't say that.
No, because it would be based I feel it is clear. Even when they were together, and now that they are separate, I think it's clear.
I wouldn't say that. I would make that determination based on their performance today as individual artists.
Well, you could even based on that, I think that the answer would still be the same.
Well,
but I'm not going to mention.
At any point in time, one is more vibrant. It's just the way the music scene is these days.
Laye handles Hearts Kotoko clash, referee Daniel Laye, and then UEFA abolished away goals rule. Banku on the menu at Magdan Widows Party, and this is not Banku as in Banku, it is Bukum Banku. There's a lot in that story. Check it out. And that's it with the Daily Guide newspaper.
The Daily Dispatch, wahala over 170 million judgment debt. I could not disobey Cabinet's decision to cancel the contracts. That's former Energy Minister Boachi Ejako. and whose supervision, if you like, that whole looking into the contracts again, the committee, the PPA committee that was to make recommendations, eventually made recommendations. He was the minister then. But listening to him, he said at the point where the decision had been made based on the recommendations by the committee for the contract to be abrogated, he was there. He actually supports it because who wants to entertain excess capacity? You're paying for something that essentially you do not need. But there were negotiations going on. It was at that point that he exited. Remember, he was asked to leave as energy minister. So that's all he knows about it. But the decision to do this was a cabinet decision. He was just supposed to carry out what had already been decided by cabinet, and that's what he did. It was a supervisory role. And that's what it is. I think there was a cartoon yesterday in the Daily Guide. I just skipped it, but his picture was one of those in the paper. And there are those who are saying, I think he was reacting to persons who were essentially saying that he was part of those who caused us, essentially, to cough up 170 million. So we should deal with him as well. Yeah, but there's so many angles here. Listen,
deal with that
I
thing,
think
yeah.
one paper has what I want to say, so I'm going to leave it. When I get to that paper, I would make my comments.
But did you yesterday, when I interacted with Dafia Mekbo and Isa, did you see the positioning? And I asked them, so don't you feel both sides contributed in a way to where we find ourselves? Oh, no, it is their side. And this one says, oh, it is his side.
Yeah.
But we adopt such entrenched
It is our money. Well, also on the front page of the Daily Dispatch, 26% of 110,000 teenage pregnancies in 2028 between 10 and 14. Only thing is, we know this, except that the minister is now saying this at an event. Yeah. Oh, I'm talking about the Children's Social Protection Minister, by the way. And this was a speech read on her behalf, but everything is attributed to her.
Well, let's get into the Ghanaian publisher. What are they publishing? MMDC is advised not to offer bribes to secure jobs. Why are you shaking your head? What's up? Okay. MMDC is advised not to offer bribes to secure jobs. Okay. KGL sponsors.
That's the aid to the chief of staff, isn't it?
Yeah. KGL sponsors maiden GIPC Diaspora Investment Summit. No protocol recruits in the army, Defense Minister declares.
So do they go with a letter or they just go with his name or a call card?
I like the headlines from the Ghanaian Publisher newspaper this morning. Who was it recently that member of parliament, I guess, who was, maybe we should just skip his name, who was talking about how he had paraded some police officers, talking about how he had helped them get into the service and that one of them had even been the best shooter, marksman.
Yeah, I can't recall the name.
No, maybe we should just.
Oh no, I would have, because he posted on Facebook. Yeah, I went back to the post.
I know, but I'm saying we should just
it's a post
skip
that
the
he's
name.
proud of. He put the
I know, it was a Facebook post.
Yeah,
but
he actually said the words. He said he facilitated, he assisted. Yeah,
that's why I'm saying that. I mean, he took the shots of them. Even said that one of them was the best shooter, best marksman at the end of it all. But you see, when such things are in the system, and we come with, and we've heard other people, not just him, other people on live television talk about how they have influenced, so to speak, and got people into this service and that service and the police and the military and all of that.
After thinking really hard about that, he was congratulating them because they made it out successfully from the training school. If you don't pass, if the training school does not pass you, then you wouldn't become a policeman, if you like, or woman, or police officer.
Now here's
so is it to the point of getting you, to that place where you would now go through the routine.
And then fall off.
Exactly, or make it.
Do you know what would be interesting to know? The number of people these people are presenting and how many of them are getting through, and whether not all of them are getting through, or whether not almost all of them are getting through. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
I do.
Then the point is it that usually when these protocol groups go, some of them may even be passing at the expense of other people who may be very qualified, if not overqualified, simply because these people were handpicked, handheld, and taken there. That's another angle we ought to be looking at.
Okay, so how far does the facilitation
Exactly
go? Well,
so big matter to
it's
discuss.
just because you see, somebody could recommend you for a job, okay? But it's just for you to go through the process. If you fail, you failed. You won't get the job.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean because Benjamin recommended me, I was favored to the extent that I wasn't properly qualified, but they gave it to me because of Benjamin.
Yeah.
But you
and that's the point.
But you can refer me, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, there isn't.
If there's an opportunity somewhere, you can tell me, oh, Mamavi, there's an HR, blah 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 blah, and I had a conversation with her, so she's expecting that you put your CV through.
Justified, but you see, in the workspace, in a usual work environment across the world, that wouldn't be such a big issue. But it becomes problematic because this is the security apparatus of a country, first of all. And then we've been talking about political party militias. We've been talking about the influence of these political parties in our security establishment. And we've seen the sort of things that we've seen already. And we have, I continue to say, an executive that is overweening, too powerful when it comes to you're appointing IGP, you're appointing this, you're appointing that. Already that's problematic. So when this feeds into it, then you have, recently, who was it that I heard? One of the NDC members talking about the fact that when these things continue, if they continue, then they too, assuming they come to power at whenever they are going to come to power, then they will also come and be forced to, I remember, that is what the person said, compelled to also do same. So when we have this back and forth where it's the political ping pong we're playing, where's that going to end us? That's my problem.
So I think it's context is what you've provided. And if you put it in that kind of context, yes, absolutely.
Well, we'll probe $170 million judgment debts. Let me just wrap up with this one. Ivory Coast sentences ex-PM Guillaume Soro to life imprisonment. And then health alert, COVID-19 cases on the increase. That's the Ministry of Health. I don't know how long you think dating should go, but 9 years later, I'm finally getting married to my best friend. That's a lifestyle story there on page 10 of the paper.
How long do you think?
Well, some people are friends for a long time, like they're friends growing up. So I think there was a celebrity couple that I heard that about recently. I've just forgotten. So that is a different picture. But the actual dating, like you meet and for 9 years. I don't know, but it happens. It happens all over the place.
If you're in school, for instance, if you just got into university and you're dating someone.
So that's 4 years already, maybe after
or maybe if you're doing medicine. And you're doing
it could be
like
some 7
years. You're still, and you're not ready to settle. I just think.
But if you were done with, let me ask you, if you were done with all of that and you were working, done with school, you're working. When I say done with school, it's in context because you're never really done. But you're done with your first degree, you've got a good job, both of you, and all of that. Would you do an extra 9 years? You're already past that hurdle.
What do you think? Life, I think we shouldn't be putting.
No, I'm not saying we shouldn't put boxes on them.
I'm just saying. So, for instance, and I'm saying this because I'm a lot more mature today. I feel like even if you're in school and you're okay, no, what I'm going to say is so wrong.
Independent or what?
If you're in school and someone is taking care of you, you can't go and tell them you want to get married. Definitely not. But listen, if you're done with school, like the scenario that you just painted, blah 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 blah, and the other partner is also ready.
Yeah.
I think it comes to you being ready, and ready in the sense today, you're doing something for yourself, like you're earning something.
Yeah.
You're capable of taking care of yourself and stepping in for the two of you.
And even factoring in the bit about a child, because that's a possibility right there.
Exactly. But I think if there's anything I would share, it will be don't jump straight away into making babies when you get married. Like, don't do it immediately, because you see, sometimes it can just disrupt your whole life. So sometimes you would have to stop work depending on how you're taking the pregnancy and how it's dealing with you or not. And, so, it can destabilize you. So if you can just wait a year, maybe second year, you can start thinking about that. But the two of you must be ready. If I'm ready to settle, but you're not, you're my partner, you're not, I can't force you to.
I mean, I know 20, 21, 22-year-olds, 23-year-olds nowadays who feel ready, and they've gone into it. Some are doing well, others not so well. But I mean,
it's
an experience. Exactly.
That's marriage. I mean, nobody has it 100%. You have to make your mistakes.
But the point to be made is that people, even that young, fresh out of university, are trying it, and some are doing pretty well.
Yeah, it's just like, good luck to you. Just make sure you don't feel later on that, oh, I should have done this when I was single. I should have done this when I was single.
It is. Mama, I'll leave you to wrap up on the rest of your papers. Maybe we can do My Joy Online.
All right. Time is just gone. Okay, so let me do Republic Press, because that's where my headline is. Blame game is on as NPP and goes over who caused 170 million judgment debts. So that's where we are. See, we see all the actors in this. It's like a Kumawood movie. All the actors coming out. They hear something, then they come out and react. But now who caused them? They did the causing. And we are here, and nobody's taking responsibility. You see how it is? Beautiful.
I feel that is one major flaw, and as media people, we know sometimes you do something and you'll be taken on. You must bear responsibility. You get it?
Yeah.
Our leaders, I feel that is one of our major failures in this country. Leadership practically never accepts responsibility. Practically never.
There's also a very important headline here: Northern floods, 35 lives lost in 3 years. And then this one, just go down. Can we push the paper up so our viewers, or can we take the, that's it. Doomsaw is not back. It's maintenance work, according to the president. What is Doomsaw?
This is DoX.
Debut.
No, this is DoX.
It's just that, Mr. President, Doomsaw is when you take the light off. That's just what it is. Like, we don't.
Are you
for
saying
maintenance or whatever? There is a, wait, hang on. This is factual. There's a timetable announcing that areas will be going off at specific times. That's Doomsaw. There you have it. Case closed. Let's do My Joy Online.
I'm not an expert in this matter.
No.
I don't have expertise in this matter.
Like, Doomsaw is not like a sophisticated word.
Even, let's even forget the whole surrounding list and all of that. Doom. Say you doom.
Thank you. Please, myjoyonline.com. This is why we don't want to debate. We don't want to do a DCMPP about this one. It is Doomsaw. That's all. All right. Ben, can you see that?
Well, let's do My Joy Online. That is nonsense. Chikata on burning excavators. Yes, he's been sharing his thoughts on that. And
he was actually speaking to a class. Yeah, this was a lecture.
Yes. Then chilling details of how suspects killed 12-year-old boy in Nonyikpo for rituals. MP files urgent question over cost of Mahama's chartered flights from 2013 to 2016. It's another interesting one. I see, then let's go back. Let's go back and see. Kumasi floods destroy where at Kejetia Market, and Amnesty International opposes attempts to pass law criminalizing LGBTQ plus. We're talking about that $170 million judgment debt as well. Attorney General looking for a scapegoat for wrongful termination of contract. That's according to Dr. Kwabena Donko. And then House Mistress, that's a story we'll be discussing today as we hit the regions, allegedly injured student through caning. Minority demands probe into procurement of Sputnik V vaccines through middlemen, and farms, water sources destroyed by illegal sand winning at Odumechi in the Ashanti region. There are many, many more stories that you can check out on My Joy online.com.
There's a situation in Miami. Rescuers are desperately searching for any survivors trapped in the rubble of a collapsed 12-story residential building north of Miami. So one person,
that condo
according
that
to
collapsed,
the story, is dead, but there are 99 others who are missing.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, listen, today is a colleague's birthday. Senior sound engineer Joseph Logosu is your birthday today. Mr. Logosu, happy birthday to you. And tomorrow, Saturday, is Hannah Odami's birthday as well as Seyram Abla D'Souza. Yeah, so we will be having celebrations all over. Eric Donko is also senior sound engineer. Tomorrow is his birthday, so happy birthday in advance. Edna Bannerman is client service executive. It's her birthday tomorrow as well. And today, it's not just Joseph Logosu. There's also Clement Ofosu Afram Ampoma. That was yesterday. All right, so now that we have the birthdays, Claire.
So belated, current, and coming.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to all of you. A Logolege birthday to Mr. Logosu. Logolege birthday to Mr. Logosu. And as for Sunday, Ebeye Butu Butu.
Oh,
we're not going to talk plenty. We're not going to talk plenty. Allow the complacent squad here in Accra to do pan.
Just watch yesterday's game between Legon Cities and Accra Hearts of Oak. And then
Legon Cities is not.
Wait. No. Just watch the play, and then you can figure out how it's gonna go.
Okay.
Why is Muftal looking at me like I'm saying something that is?
Because you're sounding like a rocket scientist right now.
I'm just surrounded by two.
We all know what's on the ground.
Pa. But when it comes to the play, yesterday they were be quiet.
You see, the biased team behind there doing this.
We never.
But we'll get there. We'll see on Sunday against Fono, against Supporters Union. No problem. Mimi how Sunday, remember?